And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. A bit of news I want to discuss with regard to a mass shooting that occurred in Nîmes in France, of course, late last night. An urgent manhunt is currently underway with regard to this, and we're going to be going through the whole of the events as such from over the last sort of 10 hours. And actually, I want to share something from a media perspective in this country, that how quickly fake news can actually spread. Whilst this incident is absolutely factual and correct, there has been a video surfacing on social media and on X, and actually the Daily Mirror, the Daily Record, the Express, and loads of other mainstream media outlets have actually been sharing a video of this supposedly attack and dubbing it as present news, when actually the video footage was from 2023. And whilst I was preparing from this live stream and getting the facts there ready for you, the footage and all of these kind of things, it took me 2 seconds to find out that the video footage that has been going viral on X, that is being connected to last night's attack in France, was actually from 2023. Yeah, it didn't really take too much, and I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel, and I can find out factual information pretty quickly, but our mainstream media sites cannot, and they're running with that story. But either way, guys, as always, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. France is always a place that we're constantly talking about. France has definitely fallen. I mean, what was there? Riots recently, of course, after the Paris Saint-Germain final in the Champions League. And France is having its mass amounts of problems with mass attacks, shootings, and all of the rest of it in modern day Europe. And it's a thing that is starting to emerge. And actually, I've been speaking a lot to French people who lived there over the last sort of couple of weeks, became good friends with some French people, and they've actually spoke about how bad it is in France at this moment in time. So let's go through what we currently know with regard to this mass shooting that has occurred in Nîmes. And Nîmes actually, as a city, it just keeps on happening. Gang violence, and it doesn't look like a major city within France. Look at the state of the place in these images. I mean, look at that. It looks like almost a war zone. Something, if I said this is Damascus in Syria, you probably wouldn't have batted an eyelid. But anyway, with regard to this, at least one person has been left fighting for their life, and 5 others have been injured after a shooting in France. The horror attack unfolded at around 7 p.m. on Friday evening in Nîmes near Avignon. 6 people were rushed to hospital with bullet wounds, and 1 remains in serious condition. An investigation for attempted murder has been launched by the French authorities. As of the early hours of Saturday morning, no arrests have been made, and it is believed that the suspects are still on the run. Witnesses reported hearing gunshots and explosions within the district, an area in southwest Nîmes which is known for its drug crime. The attack was carried out with a heavy weapon, French news outlets are reporting, and one woman told French media, "My sister called me as I was coming home from work. She told me not to go home. There were shots right in front of the building. At first, we thought they were firecrackers." French authorities said in a statement, a shooting took place in the evening, resulting in several injuries. Investigations are currently underway. The country's riot police were called in to help deal with the shooting. It has also been reported. And the district of Nîmes has been marked by a series of tragic shootings in recent years, as I discussed at the start. And as stated in August 2023, where this video footage is circulating by our mainstream media, was over a 10-year-old child where he was killed by a stray bullet, and in February last year another person was killed near a drug dealing point. So this probably, again, whilst an investigation is currently ongoing, this probably does hark back to sort of drug related stuff. But regardless, this is a major place in Europe. This is a city within Europe, and it just goes to show the way we're moving currently as a society, as Europe. It is Europe's problem. You know, what we see in France will happen in the UK, happens in the Netherlands, happens in Spain, happens all over, and we all know as to why. But drugs and drug violence is one of those huge things. Now, it's important, as stated, when you're sharing information, it's pretty quick, and things can move very, very quickly when when on social media. And as I said, our mainstream media are running this video at this moment in time. Now I'm just going to put this up here for those of you just tuning in. As you can see here, this is from 2023 and not from this incident, despite the UK media sharing it. So here is the video footage that is currently going away, so you can see that this is not from this incident. So yeah, that's just to be wary of it. I'm not going to show everything, but it is like a war zone, and regardless, it is in the same city, but back in 2023. And as stated, while I was preparing for this live stream, I quickly come across this. So there you go. I mean, it doesn't take too much to look at the video. That was the video you've seen. And again, you can see a timestamp up there in the top right, August 25th, 2023. So whilst it was in the same city, you know, we do need to do our due diligence when matching up stories, because then that's how fake news spreads. And it took me 2 seconds to find out if that was the right incident. So shame on our mainstream media for sharing that as such. But regardless, still, Nîmes is a fallen city. It's a place that is ravaged with crime, ravaged with shootings. It's happening all too often. And again, is this a sign for more things to come, should we put it that way? So yeah, currently no more further updates with regard to this incident. A manhunt is currently ongoing, and we're just waiting to see what has happened. But one is said to be in critical condition, 7 people shot in total, and we'll wait and find out what happens with regard to this individual who is currently at large. Apparently, or quotes of 3 shooters, but we'll have to see what authorities say out in France. But again, France is further down the field, I suppose, than we are currently in this mess. And, you know, shootings are becoming all too common, especially not just in Nîmes, but throughout the country in total. It's a massive, massive problem. And again, I can point to the reason as to why in France we're speaking to actual French people in person, in face-to-face, and they're giving me their opinions on their country, which is super sad to see. Now, let's get into the live chat, guys. I appreciate it's very, very early, and some of you may just be having your morning coffee, but yeah. Douglas Banks says, is this terror attack or gang related? Well, again, it's not been confirmed by anyone what is or what it isn't. But if you're looking at Nîmes' previous history, it would probably suggest drug-related crime or gang-related shooting if you had to look at the previous incidents that have happened in the same city just over the last couple of years. It would probably be related to drug, but we don't know yet. It's not been confirmed by police, but all they know is that a manhunt is currently underway, and the perpetrator, the individual that is responsible for this, is still at large, according to French sources. It's probably mental health. Enoch says, terror or gang related? You can bet your last dollar that it was carried out by a representative of the ethnicity or religion that cannot be named. Again, the gang related stuff in France, I mean, I think that the whole thing in France is a lot of the gang culture is a lot of these sort of Arabic kind of people, maybe from like North Africa, that come and create the large majority of drug-related crimes and gang violence. In there is probably like the Arabic kind of, I don't know how you describe it, North African, I suppose, from like, you know, I suppose Tunisia, these sort of countries at the top of Africa. So yeah. But regardless, it is a French problem. It is it's not just a French problem, it's a European problem. We start to see these happen all too often. And when are we going? Well, we start to hear maybe a little bits of shootings happen within the United Kingdom, especially in this sort of gang area, Manchester, London, and all of these kind of things. But it's scary times. It's really, really scary times that it's just happening in modern day Europe. It's just a normal symptom of living in modern day Europe these days, which is absolutely disgusting to see. Ah, yeah, I missed out them. Yeah, Algerians play, I suppose, a huge part with regard to the gang culture out there. And that's not to say everyone that's Algerian that's moved over to France is thing. And do you know what, actually? This is what I learned as well about French immigration. It was actually pretty wild. And again, I know I'm harking on about some conversation with French people, but their immigration system is really, really effed up. So essentially, if you work in France for 6 months, right? You work in France for 6 months. And this is, bearing in mind, this is not anything to do with being a French passport holder. But if anyone works in France for 6 months, you're then entitled to a sort of job hunter's allowance for, I think, 18 months. So if you've worked in France for 6 months, you get 18 months of benefits if you're looking for a job. So what people are using in this loophole at this moment in time in France is that they come to France, one of them will work for 6 months, and then maybe bring their family over, and then everyone's entitled to this job seekers allowance for 18 months, despite not being a French citizen, despite not being a French passport holder. This is the kind of scheme that they currently do. And why it's, I suppose, a lot of the immigration problems that where they come over, that they're playing the system massively. I couldn't believe that flaw in the French system. That, yeah, fair enough, a French passport holder could do something like that, but just any old random Joe rocks up into France, has the ability to work in France for 6 months, and then can take benefits of their government. Craziness, absolutely crazy. But yeah. But guys, that is it for this morning's live stream. So with regard to this, again, no sort of updates, I suppose, with regard to the man at large. 6 people shot yesterday, 1 in critical condition, and manhunt currently ongoing, but we don't know what the motive of this was yet. But if you are just joining in, there is a video circulating social media. Make sure that you know that that isn't from that incident. It is fake. Again, it's going viral on X, and it's important because it was happened 2 years ago, yes, in the same city, but not from this incident. So do be aware when you're seeing this video circulate. It's not from this incident. But thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for more stories that's happening here across the UK and in Europe. We'll try and cover absolutely everything. But thank you. Enjoy